to connection between health and sports. It was a powerful reminder physical activity's role in promoting well-being and preventing non-communicable diseases. This year, we gather not only to discuss the challenges we face, but to celebrate our progress and to reaffirm our unwavering dedication to the health and well-being of our people. Our region has endured hardships, but we have grown stronger, driven by our collective spirit and determination. In the face of adversity, we have seen the incredible strength of our healthcare workers, the resilience of our communities, and the steadfast support of our international partners. Together, we have made significant strides in improving healthcare access, combating diseases, and promoting health education. However, our work is far from over. The recent escalation of violence in Lebanon, as well as the ongoing crisis in Sudan, Gaza, Yemen, and elsewhere, is a sober reminder that our public health work is ever necessary. We must continue to innovate, invest in our healthcare infrastructure, and ensure that every human, regardless of their location or circumstance, has access to quality healthcare. This is not just a goal, it is our solemn promise. Ladies and gentlemen, as you will recall, Somalia represented the region in the negotiation and the successful adoption of the resolution to accelerate progress toward reducing maternal, newborn, and child mortality at the 77th World Health Assembly in May. We aimed to draw attention to the preventable deaths and galvanize international solidarity for technical and financial support to implement the resolution World Health Assembly 77.5. 6 countries are not on track to meet the Sustainable Development Goal targets for maternal and child mortality, while several others struggle to maintain previous gains amid major challenges, including emergencies. We call upon WHO to continue supporting this key global health initiative. As a region, we need commitment, domestic investment, and partnerships that are focused on scaling up evidence-based interventions. Additionally, the flagship initiative is presented by the regional director in Geneva in May, focused on equitable access to medical products, resilient health workforce, and physical and public health action on substance use, hold tremendous potential to build systems that safeguard the health and well-being of our populations, as well as to leverage our public health capabilities and harness the power of solidarity and collaboration. As we move forward, let us unite in our commitment to health, working together to build a healthier future for our region. Thank you.
We thank His Excellency Dr. Ali. It's my pleasure now to call upon Dr. Hanan Balkhi, the WHO Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean, to deliver her address. In the name of God, most gracious, most compassionate, peace be upon you. Excellencies, Ministers of Health and heads of delegations, Your Excellency, Director General, Dr. Tedros, we hope you're online. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, peace be upon you. gives me great pleasure and honor to welcome you all in the 71st session of the WHO Regional Committee for the Eastern Mediterranean. This is the very first regional committee that I have attended as the WHO Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean. Allow me at the outset to extend my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to Dr. Ali Haji, the chair of the 70th session from the Republic of Somalia. I would also like to thank our hosts, the government of Qatar, who have endeavored seriously in every phase of our preparations for this key meeting, led by Her Excellency, the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Hanan Al-Kuwari. I would like also to thank you, honorable attendees, for joining the 71st session. I am very happy to have this large number of people attending it, and I'm looking forward to the next few days, who will definitely be full of action and positive results. Last but not least, we cannot but remember those who couldn't make it for the different circumstances. It is truly unfortunate that the current security situation has prevented many from traveling to this session. Allow me to convey a message from here to my colleagues who have been very loyal and very dedicated, working in very difficult conditions. I would like to tell them, thanks to your loyalty, devotion, and courage, you are making possible what we thought was impossible. You've also become a source of inspiration for all of us. Even if you are not here with us, you are present in our hearts and minds. Excellencies, honorable attendees, ladies and gentlemen, the Regional Committee for this year gives us such a great opportunity to discuss cases of emergency and other key health challenges in our region. Tomorrow, we will tell you the latest on the health emergencies, and we will have a special briefing session on the situation in Palestine. We will also speak to you about our latest continuous efforts aiming at achieving a polio-free world. You all know that the many crises and challenges in our region will also be our main topic of discussion throughout this session, be it in general presentations or in our side sessions or conversations. We need to speak about our problems very transparently, very clearly. I am fully confident that we will do so. At the same time, we should not lose any of our determination or hope due to despair, because this regional committee, as always, will be one of our key gatherings where we discuss our public health policies and developments. Our meeting is always a good opportunity and a good new motive for a positive and influential change. We have such a big agenda before us, and I'm very excited to work with all of you in order to achieve progress on all the different raised topics. Most of our deliberations today and tomorrow, inshallah, will be about our large-scale policies for the next 4 years, including the new executive strategic plan for the EMRO and the 3 initiatives. I personally have a lot to share with you on these different topics today and tomorrow. However, now allow me to highlight some of the key items of the agenda for the next few days. We'll present to you 4 technical papers to expedite the progress in some key areas. First, and based on our regional initiative, we suggest a new framework regarding the difficult humanitarian situation. You know that we have been pioneers because our regional initiative is working on saving lives through some key interventions, and I encourage you to support the suggested trauma initiative that will help save a lot of people. Second, we have established a new regional action plan for mental health and psychosocial support in cases of emergency. More than 1/5 of the people who are in cases of crisis are going through mental health and psychological health crisis. There are a lot of gaps in this domain, especially when the circumstances are dire and crises emerge. This is a problem that we should address, and I'm looking forward to hear from you, your ideas and opinions. As for our third technical paper, it will look into how to motivate responsiveness to microbiotics resistance. We know that this is one of the key threats against health and development at the global level. As the UN General Assembly has recognized in its second high-level meeting on microbiotic resistance just last month, we know that we haven't been doing enough to face this challenge. This is why we are looking forward to investing this momentum that was created by last month's meeting to further the efforts on microbiotic resistance in our region, especially cooperation through different sectors. The discussions during this regional committee will be a key part of our preparation for the 4th Ministerial Summit that is due to be held in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia next month, inshallah, God willing. As for the last but not least technical paper, we will present in it in details how to improve health data systems all around the region. As you know, accurate and timely data play a key role for policymakers as it helps them take enlightened decisions. Some countries have made great strides, great commendable strides in the health data realm in the last few years. However, we need to multiply our efforts and ensure the implementation of international data exchange standards. This is why I call upon you to join us in our technical session and our discussion panel on the potential challenges and the benefits of the use of AI, artificial intelligence, for health. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have just presented to you a brief overview of the key items, technical items that we will elaborate on in the next few days. And as it has been customary, we will present many of the decisions to the committee to examine them in a timely manner. The WHO is your organization. You define its priorities and strategic trends and directions. We work together with all of your excellencies to define those priorities and directions, and we are held responsible and accountable before you. The 71st session is a key governance element and operation factor, and it includes that we are addressing the needs and priorities of our member countries. We will have key governance tools such as reports, decisions, and procedural decisions as part of our session. However, the regional committee is much more than that. It is our opportunity to cooperate with our partners from all around the region and even outside the region. So let us share our experiences, our ideas, and even our concerns and fears at times. And let us renew our joint commitment to improve the health and welfare of everyone in our region. I'm truly looking forward to speak to the largest number of the attendees and to hear you all. It's my pleasure to indicate that on Wednesday evening and in the Museum of Islamic Art, the MIA in Qatar, we will have an event on the investment round. I hope to see you all there. We will continue today our session with a lot of hope and optimism, and we will listen to His Excellency Dr. Tedros Adhanom and Dr. Hanan Al-Kuwari and Dr. Azzeddin Abu Al-Aish. But before we begin, let us watch this short video, which I hope you will like. I wish you all agreeable moments and constructive deliberations and fruitful discussions to further cooperation and achieving our common objectives. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you.
Health is a fundamental right. But in a world defined by borders, geopolitical, cultural, economic, that right is compromised. And in the Eastern Mediterranean region, the problems are compounded by conflict, emergencies, and huge social disparities. Countries have committed to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, including ensuring healthy lives for all. The World Health Organization and its member states are working tirelessly to promote, provide, and protect the health and well-being of everyone, everywhere.
In my visits to the countries of our region, I have met with policymakers, partners, and health and care providers. And I have met many people living on the brink with little or no access to the health care they need. We need to work together to deliver to the people we have committed to serve. To turn that commitment into action, we have developed a strategic operational plan to address public health priorities and needs in every country of the region. The challenges are enormous, but so is our collective resolve.
The regional plan includes 3 flagship initiatives to accelerate progress on health, while also boosting economic and social development. We will expand equitable access to medical products by strengthening production, supply chains, and regulatory systems across the region. We will increase strategic investment in the health workforce to make sure the region has the skilled health professionals it needs now and in the future. And we will step up public health action on substance use, which is causing massive harm to individuals and communities.
Health is a human right. Join us in making it a bridge, not a barrier. Together, we can achieve health for all beyond borders, accelerate action, expand access, ensure equity.
Thank you, Dr. Hanan. We were eagerly waiting for His Excellency, the WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, here in Doha, but due to pressing commitments, he could not make it. He has a vision and a key role in promoting global responsiveness to health crisis and health fairness and equity around the world. He is joining us virtually. We kindly ask you to welcome His Excellency Dr. Tedros, the WHO Director General.
Thank you, moderator. Honorable Minister Dr. Ali Haji Abu Bakr, Honorable Minister Dr. Hanan Mohammed Al-Kuwari, Regional Director Dr. Hanan Belghi, Honorable Ministers and Heads of Delegation, Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Good morning and greetings from Berlin. And I apologize that I cannot be with you in person. I thank Qatar for hosting this year's regional committee meeting, which comes at a very difficult time for the region, with conflict in the occupied Palestinian territory, Sudan, Yemen, and now in Lebanon. A month ago, I was in Sudan with Dr. Belghi, where we saw for ourselves the effects of the conflict and came face to face with the people who are paying the price. The following week, I visited Chad, where I met some of the 680,000 Sudanese refugees who have left their country, seeking security and food. And of course, Sudan's civil war is just one conflict in this troubled region. As the war in the occupied Palestinian territory enters its second year, the people of Gaza and the West Bank face mounting threats to their physical and mental health. In the past year, WHO and our partners have supported Gaza's health system and health workers as best as we can under extremely difficult and dangerous conditions. And we have delivered almost 2,500 metric tons of supplies. We have coordinated dozens of emergency medical teams. And together with partners, today we are starting the second round of our polio vaccination campaign, targeting almost 600,000 children. The eruption of conflict in Lebanon has put the health of millions more people at risk. The number of internally displaced people is growing rapidly, and so is the threat of disease outbreaks, compounded by overcrowding in shelters and the closure of hospitals. WHO is also deeply concerned at the increasing number of attacks on healthcare. We call for healthcare to be actively protected and not attacked, in line with international humanitarian law in all places. In each of those conflicts, WHO, our partners, and the health workers we support are dealing with more and more trauma patients. So I welcome the technical paper you will consider this week on addressing the increasing burden of trauma in humanitarian settings. And of course, the mental health impacts are just as real and can be much longer lasting. So I also welcome the Regional Action Plan for Mental Health and Psychosocial Support in Emergencies. But what the people of the region need more than trauma care, more than mental health and psychosocial support, and more than aid is a ceasefire, a political solution, and peace. The best medicine is peace. In addition to these conflicts, in the past year, the region has also responded to earthquakes, floods, drought, outbreaks, and more. And although the specific threat of COVID-19 has eased, the threat of future pandemics has not. As you know, member states made significant steps towards strengthening health emergency preparedness, prevention, and response at this year's World Health Assembly with the adoption of amendments to the international health regulations. Although member states have made progress on the pandemic agreement, some of the most crucial issues remain unresolved. I urge all member states to continue listening to each other within the region and beyond, to continue to seek common ground and to conclude a strong agreement by the end of this year. And I believe it's possible to conclude the agreement by the end of this year. Despite the many challenges you face, you also have many achievements of which to be proud, which are outlined in Dr. Belkhi's first annual report. Egypt became the first country to achieve gold tier status on the path to elimination of hepatitis C. And Pakistan announced its elimination plan. Iraq eliminated trachoma as a public health problem. And just a few weeks ago, Jordan became the first country validated for the elimination of leprosy. Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar introduced vaccines against human papillomavirus, joining the global movement to eliminate cervical cancer. Saudi Arabia's regulatory system reached maturity level 4. Tunisia increased graphic health warnings to cover 70% of tobacco packaging, and Oman decided to introduce plain packaging. Saudi Arabia became one of the first countries validated for the elimination of trans fat. And Kuwait introduced guidelines on salt content in processed foods. And these are just a few highlights. I'm proud of the way the regional and country offices are supporting member states in so many areas, as reflected in your agenda this week, from polio to blood safety, UHC, digital health, One Health, tobacco, and more. In particular, I welcome the technical paper on antimicrobial resistance, or AMR. As you know, just 10 days ago, countries approved the political declaration on AMR at the UN General Assembly high-level meeting. I urge all member states to take immediate action on the commitments they made in the declaration. Likewise, I welcome the regional strategy for digitalization of health information systems, which is essential for improving health data, health services, and health outcomes. Excellencies, responding to the many other health threats you face in the region requires a clear vision, a tailored strategy, and careful planning. So I welcome the regional director's strategic operational plan with its 6 priorities and 3 flagships, each with concrete, measurable targets for strengthening procurement, local production, and regulatory capacity for medical products, for increasing health workforce investments and reducing projected shortages and increasing health education admissions, and for expanding access to services for substance use, supported by updated national plans and legislation. The strategic operational plan is well aligned with the 14th General Program of Work, which member states adopted at this year's World Health Assembly. GPW 14 incorporates lessons from the past, the realities of the present, and our aspirations for the future. It's based on a clear mission to promote, provide, and protect health and well-being for all people in all countries, and to save 40 million lives over the next 4 years. To support the implementation of GPW 14, we have launched the first WHO investment round, which aims to mobilize the sustainable and predictable resources we need to do our work. We look forward to your participation at tomorrow's investment round event. Of course, we will understand that member states expect a strong return on investment from the resources they entrust to WHO. And so they should. We're committed to continuing the journey of transformation we began more than 7 years ago to make WHO more effective, more efficient, transparent, accountable, and results-oriented. One of our key priorities now is to strengthen our country offices to provide more predictable, more stable, and more tailored support to member states. Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends, I leave you with 3 requests. First, I urge all member states to engage actively in negotiations for the pandemic agreement and to complete it by the end of this year. I hope you can do that. Second, I urge all member states to implement the 14th General Program of Work with the Regional Strategic Operational Plan. And third, I urge all member states and partners to participate in the WHO investment round. Thank you all once again for your commitment to promoting, providing, and protecting health for all people of the Eastern Mediterranean. Shukran jazilan, merci beaucoup, and I thank you. And moderator, back to you.
شكرا دكتور.
Thank you, Your Excellency Dr. Tedros, for your participation. We now give the floor to Her Excellency, the Minister of Public Health of Qatar, Dr. Hanan Mohamed Al Kuwari, to deliver the host government address. She is such an example to follow in diplomatic and leadership, the leadership realm. She is well known regionally and internationally. When chairing the Executive Council in 2022-2023 of the WHO, she proved her commitment and her keen vision, which was clear in the global initiatives focusing on facing challenges and innovation. Her leadership was such a beacon of hope in the region and outside the region. Let us welcome the Minister of Public Health of Qatar, Dr. Hanan Mohamed Al Kuwari.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, most gracious, most compassionate.
Dr. Tedros, Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Hanan Balqi, Regional Director of the Eastern Mediterranean region, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is with immense pleasure and honor that Qatar is hosting this significant event, the 71st session of the WHO Regional Committee for the Eastern Mediterranean region. And we are confident that it will be a successful and fruitful meeting, inshallah. The theme of this session, Health Beyond Borders, Action, Access, Equity, is of exceptional relevance to our region, where conflicts, natural disasters, epidemics, and political unrest have deteriorated healthcare services in several countries. This situation calls for responsibility, solidarity, and fairness to improve the lives of all people. We have learned from the epidemics and pandemics, especially COVID-19, the importance of solidarity in achieving health beyond borders. Strengthening health systems and services within our national borders, although essential, may not be enough, as health protection requires global efforts and a pivotal role of the World Health Organization. Indeed, over the last few years, member states have seen the importance of strengthening WHO and have adopted resolutions such as increasing assessed contributions to empower WHO to deliver their recently approved GPW14. Your Excellencies, Qatar strongly believes that investing in global health and in WHO is an investment in global stability, security, and health. Recognizing its humanitarian and international responsibilities and implementation of the directives of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the State of Qatar attaches great importance to international cooperation and is committed to supporting programs and initiatives that promote health and well-being in our region and in the world. Our country also provides developmental support to the countries most in need, especially the sustainable development projects in health and education. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the final stages of achieving our Qatar National Vision 2030, we launched in September our third national health strategy, aimed at improving population health and well-being, health system efficiency and resilience, and excellence in service delivery and patient experience. The strategy also supports our national efforts to meet the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. As part of our vision, Qatar is keen to consolidate and enhance fruitful partnerships with international organizations, and our collaboration with the WHO is an inspiring model for us. Qatar was one of the first countries in the world to respond to WHO's call for core voluntary contributions in 2021 in order to support the response to the COVID-19 pandemic and other emergencies. The Sports for Health partnership between Qatar, WHO, and FIFA, signed in 2021, created and implemented a model for integrating health and well-being into sports events. We are pleased with the adoption at the 77th World Health Assembly of a resolution on strengthening health and well-being through sporting events inspired by this partnership. And tomorrow, inshallah, we will launch the joint report between Qatar and WHO on sports and health. The collaboration with WHO extended to a number of other areas. For example, we are proud that Qatar has become the first country in the world to have all its municipalities awarded the title of Healthy Cities by WHO. To promote this model regionally, Qatar, in partnership with WHO, hosted the Eastern Mediterranean Region Healthy Cities Conference in 2023. The conference culminated into the issuance of the Doha Statement on Healthy Cities to sustain health and well-being in urban areas, and fully supported by the regional network of healthy cities. Next month, the 7th World Innovation Summit for Health, an initiative of Qatar Foundation for Education, Science and Community Development, organized in collaboration with the World Health Organization, will address some of the most pressing global health challenges, from the elimination of tuberculosis to the growing importance of palliative care and the protection of health in armed conflicts. Next year in April, we will have the pleasure of hosting the WHO Mental Health Summit. 1 out of 8 people live with a mental health condition, and the expected increase over the coming decades is of tremendous importance for the sustainability of the health systems worldwide. Honorable guests, the humanitarian tragedy inflicted on the people of Palestine, especially in the Gaza Strip, by the ongoing Israeli aggression, claiming the lives of thousands of children, women, and the elderly, with no regard to health facilities and health workers, calls for intensified efforts to end such tragic and senseless war in Palestine and Lebanon. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have significant work ahead of us in the Eastern Mediterranean region to address the health challenges. The region continues to face large-scale emergencies. Until last June, conflicts and crises have left more than 107 million people in desperate need of assistance, while healthcare facilities and workers continue to be under attack. Polio remains a public health emergency of international concern, still affecting children in a few of our regional countries. Dr. Hanan Balqi, our regional director, is presenting a new strategic operational plan and 3 new flagships programs. These programs are essential to achieve health for all and need our support. Let us work in solidarity to address the challenges of our region and worldwide for better health for all. نسأل الله التوفيق والسداد. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا جزيلا دكتورة حنان.
Thank you, Your Excellency Dr. Hanan. Before we move to the next speech, we have a number of accompanying exhibitions and the Ritz-Carlton that you may visit should you have time. We now give the floor to the keynote address of the 71st session of the Regional Committee by Dr. Azzeddin Abu Al-Aish, Professor of Global Health at the University of Toronto. He will speak about the relationship between health and peace and the effect of wars and conflicts on health and welfare. He will speak about the role of conflicts and wars in promoting violence and hatred. He is a Palestinian-Canadian doctor who was born in the Jabalia camp in Gaza. He is such an international activist for human rights and peace. Despite all the hardships he went through, poverty, violence, the death of the 3 daughters he has and his niece, he was able to turn his sadness to a strong message of hope and peace. In his book, I Will Not Hate, the journey of a Gaza-born doctor on the journey of human dignity. Let us welcome Dr. Abu Al-Aish. In the name of God, most gracious, most compassionate.
And the pleasure to speak to you. It's a moment of pain, despair, frustration, but most important, of hope. As a Palestinian refugee from Jabalia camp in Gaza, as a Canadian, but most important, as a human. And that's where we are today, we meet today. And the alarm bells ring all around us. And our world is being ravaged by war, stigmatized by poverty, inequality. It's an uncertain world and unprecedented like never before, filled with fear, violence, hatred, and man-made challenges. Divided world, discordant and polarized world. In the modern era and the scope of its challenges and the intensity of its conflicts, where everything and all aspects of life are weaponized, normalized, and politicized. But you are meeting today armed with the hope where you all come together to unmade these man-made challenges by walking the talk, because health is everyone's responsibility and business, and the person's humanity, freedom, rights, justice, equality, and dignity are seen through others' persons. Responding to humanity's most pressing challenges demands that we work together and that we reinvigorate diverse, inclusive, networked, and effective multilateralism and focus on what unites us. Today more than ever, we need our imagination to help us find new solutions and opportunities, reconsider everything around us, discover and practice new paths that lead us towards progress, stability, and peaceful relations. Though the world's peacefulness is deteriorating, but it's not without hope, where humanity has the ability to adapt and overcome these challenges. We need to learn lessons of the past and focus on solutions without fear. Nothing, as a Palestinian, I don't believe the word impossible. Nothing is impossible in life because we live in a dynamic world, not a static one. As long as the patient is still alive, there is hope. Today you came together to strengthen the hope with faith and action. We must not lose the sight of power we hold as a global society to forge a better and more secure future. We see the hope in the actions of health professionals who stand as pillars of hope, resilience, compassion, human dignity, and service. They are the ambassadors of people and the messengers and beacons of humanity. They embody the principles of empathy, resilience, and unwavering dedication to the greater good, which transcends borders, cultures, and circumstances. Health and peace depend on who you are and where you are. Health and peace, as I said, everyone's responsibility and business. At the core of our understanding of health and peace is the premise and the call for a new paradigm shift that health and peace are two dynamic, multifaceted entities that are interrelated, interlinked, inseparable, intertwined, and mutually interconnected. No peace without health, and no health without peace. Today's meeting and the work you are all doing is testament to the power of resilience. And wars that we are witnessing are escalating across continents and threatens the very future of humanity. Eisenhower once said, "A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on the programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death." I can add spiritual and the human death and bankruptcy. But what is war? What is war that we see it on the screen? It's not what do we see on the screen. It's easy to see the war with the glasses. It's about hundreds of thousands of humans dying years before their time. It's our children seeing their bodies, limbs blown of their bodies. It's millions of people separated forever from the ones they loved. The most vulnerable populations bear the brunt of these conflicts, displaced from their homes and deprived of basic human rights. The world's challenges are collective, but they are not selective. We all in this world are potential victims, and it's time for all of us to come together to act. No one knows the loss until it happens. No one knows the suffering until they have suffered. No one knows the freedom until they have lost it. How simple is the war when we see it with the glasses or behind the screen. War and injustice are genocide, are torture, propaganda, dishonesty, and the slavery of humanity. War and injustice are not just to be documented or to be seen. It's to be prevented. The killing and death doesn't hurt the dead or murdered. It hurts the living. And if the murdered, if the killed, if the weak and the victim can't cry or speak out, it's our moral, ethical, and human duty and the responsibility of the living, loving, and caring to act and speak out for them. And you are here to be the voice of the voiceless. And I send a message to the Palestinians under murder in Gaza that you are not alone. We are here with them, speaking in their name. It's time for all of us to humanize, not to politicize. Health and health care stand at the heart of this vision. We need in this world, we need truth, justice, equality, freedom, but most important, accountability and dignity. To achieve this, we must change our course and the priorities, addressing the root causes of socio-endemic diseases and pathologies that undermine these values, and to change our course of treatment and the prevention. Because these socio-endemic diseases, war, hatred, violence, and fear, are triggers and the precursor to atrocities such as war, hatred, and violence. We need to study the pathophysiology of these diseases and deal with this using a comprehensive, holistic, multidisciplinary, and collaborative approach, using the public health and epidemiological methodology, where all social and pathological diseases, they cross barriers and borders. Accountability is essential and vital to the stability of our world. Acknowledgement of the wrongdoing and accountability to avoid the repetition, because all of the time, we repeated it thousands of times, never again, as if we repeat it again and again, adhering to the humanitarian law and the principles of health emergency response is not just a necessity, it's a moral obligation. And our leaders in this world must rise to this moment, thinking beyond themselves and putting humanity first, to defend the humanity and to recognize that human beings and their freedom are the most sacred things in the universe. Without this understanding, we risk losing what makes us a true human. Personally, I saw the hope in the newborn baby I delivered, but at the same time, I saw the killing of my daughters, my niece, when the Israeli tanks bombed my house. The killing of my loved daughters wasn't the last. They were just numbers, and it's continued until this moment in Jabalia camp. It's not just numbers among the tens of thousands of Palestinians killed. As obstetrician and gynecologist, the happiest moment in my life is when I handle the baby to his mother. The cry of the newborn baby, it's the only cry on earth which means life and hope. All are born free and equal. Why not to live free and equal outside the borders of the hospitals? For any human being, freedom is essential, is crucial to our dignity and our ability to be fully human. Tragedies and the tragedy can't be the end of our lives. And I am here because of my daughters and the people in the Gaza Strip and others in this world. We can't allow tragedy to control and defeat us. I succeeded in my life, but I will never forget from where did I come. I succeeded to create life from death and spread hope from and light from pain and suffering. And I fully believe that the strongest members in any society are women. That's why, in memory of my daughters, I established Daughters for Life Foundation for education of girls and young women, because I believe the women are the author of the survival story of our world. They are the ones behind our existence and success. In the time, the world of despair and loss of hope, women have maintained hope. That's why I am optimistic today and will keep hopeful and optimistic about our future. Women are the balance of our world. Women are the ones who give life and nurture life. Instead of saying behind a successful man, there is a successful woman. There is no peace without women and no peace without respect of human rights. I fully believe that we have the knowledge, the talent, and the strength, but we need the goodwill to make the world a better one by sharing our humanity and realizing that we all bleed the same color. Building close ties between people is one of the most effective ways of preventing conflict over the long term. These ties should be built on equality, respect, and freedom, and to move from competition to collaboration, cooperation, complementation, and partnership, from exclusive to inclusive, from reactive to proactive, from patchwork quilt to comprehensive, not to leave anyone behind, and to humanize, not to politicize. One can do everything, but each of us can do something. Let us all come together to make the world we want for us and our future generations safe, secure, healthy, and most important, free one, to replace the social and pathological pandemics of violence, disease, discrimination, militarization, politicization, and occupation into a pandemic of justice, equality, health, freedom, dignity, and rights, where peace will be the consequence. I came here because I believe in you and count on you, and that we all can make a difference. Have faith, have hope, but most important, take action. Thank you, and God bless you.
دكتور أبو العيش خالد.
Thank you, Dr. Abu Aish, for attending this session today and for this inspiring speech full of very rich ideas that highlighted a large number of items that are on the agenda of this year's session of the Regional Committee. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a key part of this session, which is the honoring that the EMRO has, the honor of providing to the innovators and the achievers. The Kuwait Anti-Cancer and Cardiovascular and Diabetes Award has been established in 2003 to honor the winners for their valuable contributions in these three different domains. I call upon the representative of the award to join us and to deliver the award. Dr. Al-Awadi, the Minister of Public Health of Kuwait, Dr. Hanan Belkhi, the Director of the WHO EMRO, and Dr. Hana Al-Kuwari, the Minister of Public Health of Qatar.
صباح الخير. Good morning. I have my brief speech for Dr. Izzeddin Abu Aish. Thank you for your speech. Your words reached our heart before our mind. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. معالي رئيسة الدورة الحالي.
Peace be upon you, Your Excellency, the Chair of the 71st Session, Dr. Hana Al-Kuwari, Your Excellency, the WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom, Your Excellency, Dr. Hanan Belkhi from the EMRO office, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, heads of delegations, honorable attendees, ladies and gentlemen, peace and blessings upon you all. It's an honor for me to meet you, to celebrate the Kuwait Award and honoring for fighting against cancer, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases on the margins of the 71st session of the WHO Regional Committee for the Eastern Mediterranean and the Doha of all that is good. Thank you for your generous hospitality and welcome. This award reflects Kuwait's continuous support of scientific research and health initiatives to promote the welfare and being of our people. Our commitment in Kuwait to sponsor research and innovation in health is not recent. Kuwait has adopted a comprehensive approach for public health and combating diseases that represent a big threat to the millions of lives, especially in our region. We are proud to consider the combat against these diseases as part of our priority in our National Action Plan and the Ministry of Public Health Strategy and Plan. Many plans have been launched with specific targets and very ambitious goals for a better and healthier life to the residents and the nationals, and they include a lot of awareness-raising programs, initiatives for prevention, early detection and diagnosis to reduce the health, social, and economic cost of such diseases. On behalf of Kuwait and the Ministry of Public Health, and on behalf of everyone who values work and research on health and welfare, I have the pleasure to reveal the names of the achievers of this year. Congratulations to Dr. Asim Hamza Mansour, from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan for his achievements in combating cancer. He is very committed to the welfare of his patients. He is an example to follow in health and treatment research. We wish him all the best in his humanitarian and health journey. Congratulations to Professor Dawood Khalili from Iran for his pioneering efforts in combating cardiovascular diseases. His scientific contributions in combating these chronic diseases are appreciated. We wish him more accomplishments. Last but not least, I cannot but profusely thank Dr. Hanan Belkhi, the Regional Director of the EMRO office, for her continuous support of these initiatives, and the Secretariat of the WHO for its active role in holding this award and supporting it to honor the achievers and the innovators. This honors not only the achievers and the professors, but anyone who contributes to promoting public health in our region. Kuwait will continue its efforts to support scientific research and promote regional and international cooperation for building healthier, stronger, and more sustainable communities. Thank you. Peace be upon you. Thank you, Your Excellency the Minister. We kindly ask the winners to join us on stage.
ينوب عن الدكتور خليلي.
To represent Dr. Khalili, Korosh Atemad from the Ministry of Health and Medical Education in Tehran. Dr. Asim, you have the floor. In the name of God, Excellencies, dear colleagues, it's an honor for me to stand before you today to receive such a key award on behalf of thousands of colleagues and tens of institutions I had the honor to work with, and of course our patients, without whom I wouldn't have been here. They deserve this award more than anyone else. This award is from the WHO. It reflects the important role of the WHO in preserving health, and also bears the name of the state of Kuwait, whom we respect and love. We are very happy and honored to be here in Doha, in Qatar. To combat cancer has been my dedication, my lifelong dedication. I'm very happy and proud. Thank you.
دكتور، هل ترغب بإلقاء كلمة؟ دكتور كروش تفضل معنا.
Dr. Korosh, you have the floor. In the name
المخلوق لم يشكر الخالق لم يشكر المخلوق. In the name of God, I'm Dr. Etemad, Director General of NCD Office in Ministry of Health. It's my pleasure to be here as a representative of our country, Islamic Republic of Iran, and Dr. Khalili. It's my pleasure to thanks from Kuwait governance to support this prize and governance of Qatar for supporting this RC meeting, and a special thanks to Dr. Balkhi to arrange this meeting and arrange this program for non-communicable disease. I hope that we have collaboration with together to improve the research on NCD and improve the quality of care for NCD in our region. Many thanks.
شكرا جزيلا أصحاب المعالي.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. We thank all the winners of the Kuwait Award. Excellencies, honorable attendees, thank you for joining us today in this inaugural event. We shall now move to Lusail and the Ritz-Carlton. The cars will wait for you and you will see our staff waiting, and upon getting to the hotel, kindly join us for lunch in the Lagoon restaurant, and then the photos will be taken at 1:30 in Al Mukhtasar, and then we will start the works of our sessions at 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you very much.